I'm ready for this out of control new thing that we've got.
Pour it up a little bit.
Well, here's what I'm thinking we do. I've got the 6 year. I've got the 4 year. Now we got the 8 year.
I got 5. Single barrel.
But I'm going with the small batches.
Okay, never mind.
So all 100
Stupid
proof.
Eric.
Stupid. Dummy. So I've got 4 and 6 poured up, waiting for the 8.
Okay.
Do you need an extra glass?
I can pour them separate. Or are we going to drink them all at the same time? Or
Well, I wanted to kind of progress through.
Well, I'm going to need 2 glasses then.
Did you only bring one?
No, I've got the 8 in one. I need 1 glass. Never mind, math is hard.
Big brain energy here at the podcast. That's the very last of the very first batch of Wilderness Trail.
D01.
High rye.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
I think I have D07.
Could you also, have you poured the 8 year yet?
I did. It's over there. So here you go. Picked that up this morning.
Boy, it really is easier to pour.
Yeah, tell them about that.
Thanks, Haley, for the new ergonomic bottle. So our friend Haley, who is a brand ambassador over at Wilderness Trail, pioneered this new bottle shape for Wilderness Trail, starting with their 8-year-old bourbon. And the reasoning behind it was that she is doing a whole lot of traveling with this bourbon, trying to teach people about it, spreading the love of Wilderness Trail. And with the wider girth of the original bottle, she was getting carpal tunnel with how much she was pouring. So she kind of asked for a new bottle shape. It's essentially the same, but it's a little bit thinner in the middle, which makes it easier to hold. Of course, it's going to be easier for her to pour as well. And they actually are able to produce their own bottles now instead of having to deal with a supply chain and sourcing from a glass producer.
Nice.
So
I was curious about that.
It was always kind of their goal to do that, but they finally, when push came to shove, they said, well, we got to do it right now. They got a new label for it too, which looks really slick. It's a lot easier to identify the age-stated products.
I love the gold.
Oh, yeah.
Or what is that? Embossed? Is that?
Yeah, an embossed, like, kind of, it's more copper, I guess, than it is gold.
Yeah.
But just a sexy new bottle.
I like it.
It's real nice looking. So I'm sorry that I'm going to make you wait just a little bit longer.
Damn it!
But I do want to go through.
All right.
Step up to it. Because I think it's important to see how this has evolved.
Yes.
Okay, since it first came out. So we're starting with the 4-year high rye bourbon. Bottled and bond.
They know what they're doing, dude. It's just so good.
Clifton said on the stream last night too that he hopes that smaller craft distilleries look at the model that Wilderness Trail has created and they follow it.
Yeah.
And they believe in their product and they allow it to age and that they take the time to be patient with it. And I agree. I think that this is the absolute poster child for what a craft distillery should be doing with their products.
It's almost, because it's the high rye mash bill, these are not the wheats. It's like a lemon pound cake. It's just this subtle hint of like kind of citrus lemon, but then there's this powdered sugar, and it's like you're drinking a lemon pound cake.
I kind of lean a little bit more towards a funnel cake, personally.
Well, I think that powdered sugar note is the top layer.
Yeah.
And then after that, you just got to dive into whatever you think the rest of it is.
It is a very rich high rye bourbon. Mm-hmm. I mean, for it to be, I mean, what is it, 24% rye?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get like overly spicy. It doesn't go into that realm of being kind of grassy or soapy or, you know, anything like that. It is just a really drinkable, solid high rye bourbon. And the thing that I've always said about it too is like, well, if it's this good at 4 years old, what would it be like at the next step up? Or why go any further? Why do something completely different and age it up higher. And I mean, I'm happy that they have. And I can't wait to get into the 8-year, but
6-year.
6-year starts to go a little bit more tropical. I've always felt that. Like it's a slightly lighter profile.
But
with
I
the
also
6-year.
like on the nose, I feel like it gets a little darker too. It's kind of like cherry and orangey, but like there's this like barrel dark note in there too.
It definitely pumps up the finish. Where the finish was lacking a little bit in the 4-year-old, the 6-year-old is really where the finish starts to shine through. And it starts to bring out, of course, more of the oak. That orange that I think you're talking about is almost like an orange creamsicle. Man, it's good.
Even more on the palate. Like
yeah,
everything I just said about the nose of the 6-year just amps it up on the palate.
A little bit of like black pepper.
It's almost like a paprika.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that.
It's not straight black pepper to me. It's like this kind of sweet, kind of spicy pepper type thing.
Yeah.
Just right down like
I get on board with that.
Yeah, when you get into it just a little bit more. That finish though is amazing on the 6-year.
Yeah.
So yes, from 4 to 6, it's definitely
a big step up.
Yep.
So we're now going to move on to
first sips. We have not had any of this. We just opened it.
First sips, first smells, first reactions to.
I opened it up over here right before we started just to get it ready and let it sit. Didn't even pour it. And here we are.
It's been a long time coming, but here we are. And we've got this
8 years old.
8-year-old bottled and bond.
It's crazy.
Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Straight from Wilderness Trail.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. 2 extra years can do a lot, apparently.
I got a little teary. I genuinely got a little teary when I smelled it.
It smells 10 to 12 years old. It has this purple note on the nose that normally I get from older stuff. It's like fresh peanut butter and jelly, like homemade jelly on your favorite peanut butter. But the bread is maybe got some cinnamon in it. I don't know if that's even a thing. Oh, that smells so good.
I'm really sorry. I need to collect myself for a second because that was. I've not been so satisfied with expectations for a product, maybe ever.
It smells so good.
It smells amazing. And to quote somebody who used to sit in your seat, as it were, I would make a candle out of that.
Yeah, I'd smell that all day. Yeah, it goes.
If what I am assuming we are about to experience is true, this might be the most well-crafted product that we've had so far this year. With the most love and the most attention and the most dedication to making sure that what they are doing is special.
Man.
It's got a great color to it.
And it coats the glass. Look at the legs on it.
All right.
It's seriously hitting every spot of my tongue.
Wow.
More grape, but there's just cinnamon.
That finish, though.
The finish is one of the longest finishes for 100 proof, no doubt. I mean, I 100% am not even. Man,
there's something about this that feels like sensory overload.
It's layers. There's layers on layers of this. And at first sip, it was like grape, cinnamon, and then frosting. And now after the second, and it sit on my tongue a little bit, and the finish, it's almost turned into like apple pie.
This is like a bourbon for all seasons.
Oh, you could drink this from now until
this time next year,
winter, all through winter.
I'm genuinely stunned.
So good.
I am stunned by how great of a whiskey this is.
Man.
This is such a great payoff for waiting for 4 years after their first product came out. This was worth the wait.
Yeah.
This was 100% worth the wait.
And this was a small batch, so not a single barrel. So they blended and made it this, and fantastic to everybody at Wilderness Trail who was tasting and helping blend and Shane and Pat and McCully and Haley and everybody else who's involved with this.
What's the price?
84 and some change, like 85 before tax, I guess. $10 a year, something like that.
Eric, I think we got something really special to the podcast here.
So good.
It's also not often that I go into a product and I think, this was made for me. Only thing that would have made this even slightly better would it being at cast strength. But I think for everything that it is, I think this is one of the most perfectly crafted blended bourbons that I have not only ever tasted, but that we've ever had on the show.
I would love to try this at cast strength, but at the same time, like if you're listening to this and you're kind of dipping your toes in high proof stuff, this is 100 proof.
It's a
This is
great next step.
This is right in the middle from, lower proof stuff to the cast strength stuff. It's a great step, and this should be liked by new drinkers, veteran drinkers, nerds, whatever. Like it's so good, man.
I don't have anything bad to say about this.
No, I don't either.
I guess we got to review this. I'm going to do mine all at once.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to go first or if you want me to go first.
Go ahead. I'm going to add everything up here.
I don't need to.
Damn.
Eric, this is my very first 20 out of 20.
20 out of 20.
This is a 100 bourbon for me. This is everything I wanted this whiskey to be and more. No negatives. I'm not getting anything where I'm going, well, I wish that it were this or that it was, a little bit more approachable in one particular category or another. This is like as close to a perfect bourbon for me as you could possibly get. And I know that I'm a proof hound, and I, of course, am going, what would it be like at a cast strength version? But honestly, experiencing this as crafted as it is, as intentional as it is too, everything about this is a 5 out of 5 for me. And at $84 too?
Yeah, 85, I guess, is what.
Yeah. I mean, I feel weird giving it a perfect score, because I know I'm going to get some flack for it. But I don't have I genuinely do not have anything bad to say about this bourbon. I've silenced you, and I think that it's because, are you concerned with my score here, or are you trying to justify not giving it a perfect score?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of all the categories, and I'm trying to think like what the most perfect score is if I don't say it's perfect, if that makes sense. I'm trying to make sure that I've hit everything. Nose, palate, and finishes, it's at a 15 right there. When I get to the price, I'm not mad. I'm not personally mad at $85. I think sometimes maybe $85 is not as accessible to other people.
I get that.
So,
but if you look at it from just, statistically.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing too, it's a distillery only release.
It what's left over goes out to stores.
Oh, well.
So there is a chance you can get this.
But it's a smaller chance.
Yeah, it says in the email that there's a remaining batch that will go out to the distributor.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I don't know how many that is. That could be a very small amount.
But your best chance of getting it would be going to
if there's any left after the release.
Yeah. After this review.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. God. It's going to take a lot to convince me otherwise that this is not
19.75. I don't know. Like it's hard to like say anything. I mean, and this is me trying to just not just say, yeah, I agree. Like it's damn near perfect. I mean,
I know.
There's nothing wrong. I can't say anything negative about anything, but the price, and I'm only saying that with like a $5 like increment. Like that doesn't even. I'll give it a 21 out of 20. That's my final score. 21 out of 20. I'm going to say this is the first 21 out of 20.
It is. It is the very first 20. God, we have never given a perfect score on the podcast to a bourbon. And the fact that it is from this distillery, from this product, something that we have grown alongside with and have just been able to see success.
And I'm going to say this. That helps. And you can say whatever you want. Oh, they like Wilderness Trail so much.
I don't care.
But I will say, they are the nicest people. And they do everything they can to make sure you have a good time when you go to the distillery and tours and tastings and all that. And you know what? That helps. And that makes me love it even more. I will die on the Wilderness Trail hill as a mark for Wilderness Trail because I love it so much. I've got shelves and shelves of Wilderness Trail single barrels and small batches, and I love them all. And this is it's a 21 out of 20. I hope if you're listening, you get to try this.
I do too. And
you can say that, oh, they gave it a perfect score. They gave it a not even a really score because he gave it a 21. But you know what? I can't. I sat here and tried to think of a way to not give it a perfect score.
That's where I was too, is that I was going, what about this do I not like?
And the only thing I could think of was the extra tax in Danville.
But that's the thing, is that there's nothing based on the quality of this bourbon.
I don't even know if there's extra tax in Danville. I don't know.
But yeah, I know what you're saying, though. That this is just everything that I want.
That's it. That's all I have to say.
But I'm telling you, if this is not my number one for this year, I'll be severely shocked. I will be surprised. I've never felt so emotionally attached.
Should we just end the show right now?
Forever?
No. 21 out of 20? What the hell kind of podcast is this?
I know we need to move on, but I don't know how to speak anymore.
Well, I'm just happy.
Let's just do tips and bits, I guess.
Just end the show. Roll the music.